Welcome everyone, and today we have a very special video for X4 Foundations. We have our gameplay series that's been running for several weeks here on the channel and is going strong as we started from nothing and are working our way to building an empire in preparation for the Tides of Avarice DLC, which we now know is going to be released through the Steam platform on March the 14th. But today we have a special sneak peek, an early look at the Tides of Avarice DLC. And in today's video, we're going to look at one of the two custom starts that comes with the DLC.
The EVGA Syndicate, you say? Well, of course I can answer a few questions, officer. Protectors of Windfall, they call themselves, and their protection is something that upstanding business people tend to pay good credit for. Nothing in the system happens without their knowledge. Any transaction, physical or virtual, that passes through, it's safe to assume they know about it. There is no money laundering that I'm aware of at the present time, no. Large-scale financial transfers, yes, but they're for the most part limited to generous loans to the needy over in Avarice. What's that? Runners? I don't think you should pay those rumors any attention, officer. Under the Syndicate's watch, there has been no smuggling of illicit substances for as long as I can remember.
Of the two official game starts included with the Tides of Avarice DLC, the Smuggler's Paradise option, which is the one we're going to take a look at today, is the one that speaks to me because it starts us off in the role of a trader. And you can see here, our character, we can choose between an Argon male and an Argon female. So that gives you an idea of the race that we're going to choose as we get started. But in our role of a trader with only 5,000 credits, we're on our way to the Aurora Casino to complete a contract. We're simply there to complete a trade. However, as with everything in the Tides of Avarice DLC, nothing is exactly the way it seems, and nothing is ever that simple. So while we might simply be cruising to complete a trade, we're going to need some help in order to do that. Some protection, if you will.
Who said transporting this stuff doesn't pay just because we've legalized it? Isn't that right, Runner? A few more of these contracts and you'll be swimming in credits. Letting us in on the deal was the smartest move you could have made, by the way. Finally, someone who respects the work we do. Obey the rules and you've got nothing to fear, is what the boss always... Oh. Hey, everyone, drop point coming up. Get back in formation. Alright, Runner, let's get this over with. Head for the station, make your delivery, get paid, blah blah. We'll keep an eye on you. And any suspect traffic, of course. No need to worry while you're with us.
Alright, as we get started in our journey toward the casino, keep in mind you're going to see some things flash across the screen. Some of these are more tutorial type messages. And also keep in mind that this is indeed pre-release footage. So this is a beta version of the release. So expect to see some bugs, some things that don't quite match up, maybe some visual effects, that kind of thing that are not quite release ready. All right, so we're going to go ahead and engage the travel drive and we're going to make the long journey. Now don't worry, we're not going to have to go this entire journey. The beginning of the game, as you might expect, has some narration to it as they really want to set the mood as you begin your journey in the X universe. Now for those of you who are new to X4, this will provide a very interesting entry into the X universe and into the map, which we'll be looking at here toward the end of the video. For those of you who are already veterans of the X4 Foundations game, then you're going to immediately recognize where we are.
Well, look what we have here. Another trader en route to Aurora, and they're not flying Syndicate colors. Such a shame for them.
There's your first hint at what's about to happen.
There, unsinkable. What are you doing out here in the dark all alone? Haven't you heard? Nothing but scum and villainy in Windfall these days. Personally, I wouldn't take a single step outside without protection. Wouldn't it be terribly inconvenient if, say, one of your engines suddenly caught a couple of stray, high-velocity rounds? Imagine getting stranded like that. And the distress call operators are all so very, very busy right now.
As you take a look
They
around,
dropped a bunch of crates. Hey, Gara, go and pick them up. Not you, runner. Keep staying on course. And be happy you're on our side.
we got you. We got you. But as you take a look around, there is a lot going on here. Not only are there asteroids for mining opportunities, but clearly there's a lot of, shall we say, extracurricular that has been going on around this area. So this does a really good job, I believe, at setting the stage for what the Tides of Avarice DLC is all about and what it's going to bring to the X4 Foundation's gameplay.
Request docking permission.
Docking permission granted.
Permission denied. Out of the way, lowlife.
All right.
See? That's how it's done. That trash has nothing on us. Now go and get those wares delivered. You have priority docking permission.
So I guess it does pay to have protection. So how is this all going to fit into our existing gameplay series? Well, I guess we're going to have to wait and find out. Are we going to need protection even with an established military presence as we have in our gameplay series, which, by the way, we still have a few more videos to air before we get to the release date of March 14th.
Mercury, Vanguard.
All right, let's go ahead and start to slow down a little bit. Now, those of you who have been following our gameplay series here on the channel, you know my piloting skills leave a lot to be desired. So we're going to have a little fun with this today. Well, now, there's the freighter that has been, shall we say, pushed aside so that we can do our docking and our business first. So as we approach, I mean, just take a look at these stations. A very, very different look based on what we see in a lot, particularly the Terran systems where everything looks so nice and well kept. Well, these looked a little bit more cobbled together. Again, all keeping with the flow of the game and of the universe itself. All right, let's see if we can get this thing into proper position. All right, I think we should be good right there. Are we? Pick it up, game. There we go. Landing without the computerized software. I like it.
Smooth landing. Now open your trade interface and deliver the highlighted wares.
So once again, keep in mind, this is meant to be more of a tutorial. So if you're a veteran of the game, just hang in there for a few minutes. So we're going to go to trade, and we're going to trade some space fuel as well as wheat. Now, because space fuel may or may not be illegal, it is shown up in the reddish tint as opposed to the wheat, which is a much easier ware to be traded. All right, so we've got both of those taken care of. We'll click confirm, wait for the trade to finish, and then we'll move on about our day because we're not quite done here. All right, waiting for the trade to finish. There we go. I was beginning to wonder if this was one of those glitches that comes from beta or pre-release versions. So let's go ahead and get up because it's mentioning that we need to get up out of our chair because we're going to explore the station.
All goods delivered. Nice work, runner. Now, you're not formally with the Syndicate just yet, but maybe you've picked up on the proper manners by now. Act the part and nobody will bother you. See you out there. And stay on the same team for your own sake.
Always got to have those reminders of who's in charge in this space.
Welcome to the Aurora Casino. We need your cooperation for the final validation of your contract. Please come in.
All right, so let's head in and talk to Mr. Kobayashi. So again, the interior of the ship. One of the things you're going to get with the Tides of Avarice DLC is a lot of new ships. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff. Is this something that we want to build? Is this something we want to purchase? And so on. We got a lot of decisions to make coming up very soon with this DLC. But first and foremost, before we hop inside, let's actually just take a brief look at our trading vessel. Again, nothing special. It is a small trader, but it does have a rather unique look to it, and for that, I'm excited. Anything that brings about some new weapons, new styling, anything of that sort, I'm all about it. So now let's hop in. And again, for those of you who might be new to X4 Foundations, we're being led by the arrow. Let's follow the path. And we're headed to room A113. But I thought we might take a little detour, maybe to the casino first. All right, now these hallways look familiar. We've seen these before. All right, so the casino, a new area. All right, and as we move around, again, for those of you who might not be familiar with X4 Foundations, these are folks that you can generally hire. Now, right now, we're not really looking to hire anybody. Not just yet, anyway. So, okay, all right, we got our decorated areas, more games to be played, more people hanging around at different spots. Now, I don't see a bartender back here. It's going to be very hard to buy a drink if there's no bartender. But we do have a new area, a new room available here on the station. And that's one of the things that I really like, is anytime they can expand the stations and or the larger ships, I'm in favor of it. I want these things to feel like they're as huge as they really are. And that goes for both the large, extra large ships as well as the stations themselves. Give us more rooms, more areas to roam around. Okay, with that in mind, everything else looks fairly standard. We got the bar that we've seen before, engineering section, manager's office, security office, and so on. So now let's head over to room A113 and see what Mr. Kobayashi has in store for us.
Ah, yes, you. Let's get this over with, shall we?
Well, he seems happy to see us. All right, now before we get to confirming the delivery, we're going to ask a few questions to see if we can't gain a little bit of information on what's going on.
Your handler for today. And quite frankly, I believe that further discussion of this topic is irrelevant to the matter at hand.
Okay, then. So not really interested in answering questions. Got it. We're going to keep asking them anyway.
A lesson in history? Very well. When the dark descended on Windfall, this place had an abundance of water, food, spectacular views, and luxury residences. A recipe for disaster, if you ask me.
I agree.
I'm told that change transpired gradually. The people continued to gamble their lives away. Private security continued to serve the highest bidder. But now ownership of high-tech appliances and organic substance fabricators had become something to fight over.
It always is.
The realignment with avarice brought about the most devastating upheaval this sector had seen in a lifetime, worse by far than the liberating isolation of the dark. How the Syndicate emerged victorious, I cannot tell. Its early hegemony appears to have relied on temporary arrangements with forces in avarice, though it eludes me to this day why the Riptide should have willingly indentured themselves. Oh well. Was there anything else we wanted to discuss?
Okay, so there's a lot going on in what he just said. Obviously, we're in a new sector. We're in Windfall. And here in just a few moments, when we're done with our business here, we'll take a look at the map and see if maybe we can get a clue as to where that's located within the X4 universe. But he talked about the dark. And at some point in the DLC, we're going to get more information about what exactly that is and how it fits into the whole scheme of things. But for now, we got one more question.
The EVGA Syndicate is arguably the most powerful organization in Windfall at the present time. They are comprised of several outfits of varying size and influence, while low and mid-level bosses are known to occasionally assert claims against one another. Syndicate leadership remains expertly obscure, stable, and dependable.
I think what he was trying to say was they're shady. I think that's where he was trying to get to. Now, all right, so we've asked our first three questions. Now I have a new one. Let's see what he has to say about the affairs of the Syndicate.
Most conspicuously, Syndicate members deal in protection and money lending. Their main source of income, however, remains extortion, especially when it comes to the transit traffic to and from Avarice. A word of advice between contractors. Your file lists multiple occurrences of their thugs having been assigned to you as an escort for special deliveries. However, that does not mean that you are safe from them. No one is.
Okay, so a dire warning that's given to us, obviously alluding to the fact that as a trader operating in these sectors near and around Avarice, we've had multiple dealings with the protection, as they call it, or escort service, but we are not safe from them. So he's given us a lot of backstory to think about as we get started into the game, but for now, let's go ahead and confirm that delivery.
In the name of Aurora Station and the Aurora Casino, I hereby formally confirm that, with the receipt of your delivery, our contract is satisfied. As per our arrangement, I have been instructed to present you with compensation for your unabated reliability up to this point. You are scheduled to receive a ship modification that will improve your ability to conduct your business undisturbed.
Okay, so I like how he said that. Conduct your business undisturbed. All right, is there anything that we can ask? Oh yeah, looks like we've got one more question to ask about this modification.
I'm not aware of the specifics, but it appears that the modification will reduce the distance at which other ships will be able to spot you on their radar. Do not treat this as a free pass for customs checks. I have caught runners who thought themselves invisible. They were not.
Another dire warning. Got it. So this modification is going to adjust the radar. I like it. I like it. Going to make us run a little bit easier through the area. Okay, so where do we go?
I have transferred the location of a local recreational establishment to your navigational device. Once there, you will discreetly meet with a certificate broker to update your ship registration. In the meantime, Aurora Station personnel will perform routine maintenance on the dock.
Yeah, that makes me a little worried when he says things like routine maintenance. In a shady place like this, I mean, who knows what they could be doing to our ship? If we're lucky, it's just about the modification. All right, so let's go ahead and get out of here.
Very well, I have been instructed to wish you safe travels. And remember, you don't know me.
He's such a happy guy. So happy to see us, so happy to be doing his job as a contractor. Okay, so let's go see about getting our registration updated. All right, we want to go up here. Let's do that. And we're off to, oh, the bar. Okay. The bar it is. Where else would you conduct a shady transaction? All right. So, okay. Well, that's not conspicuous at all. All right. I got to know. Is there anybody else in here? There is no one else. Not a single soul in here. Now, again, this is pre-release, so who knows what it will be like when this mission comes around in the actual release version. But, yeah, nothing shady going on here. Not at all.
Can I help?
Wow. Black marketer from the scale plate. Okay. All right, we don't want to show the wares because we're just doing the introduction here, so we're not going to do that. But we do need a registration update, please.
You're welcome.
Wait, that's it? What, did she just wave the magic wand over us? All right, so congratulations, you have fulfilled your contract and are now free to conduct your own business in Windfall. Okay, so that was it. That was about the quickest update to registration I have ever seen. No standing in line, no paperwork, no forms, no nothing. Okay, so at this point, we are free to go about our gameplay. So that is one of the game starts available within the Tides of Avarice. So as we head back out, again, this one gets you started as a trader. So now, as we get ready to explore the X universe, we have our small trading vessel, a few credits, And that's it. We are free to go anywhere and do pretty much anything we want. All right, so let's now hop into... Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this. Salvage crew, I like it. There's all sorts of salvage ships. So for those, again, not familiar, you're going to have salvage be a major portion of the Tides of Avarice DLC gameplay. It is a new feature in the game if you're playing the betas, the public betas that have been released. And again, if you're following along with our gameplay series here on the channel, we already have had a few of those salvage vessels, and we've done some salvaging ourselves, and I think it's going to be huge. I mean, you can already see.
Please check your cargo.
We've got unknown objects, scrap cubes. We got all sorts of things going on out there. But this appears to be a huge portion. So as we scroll back out, we're in Windfall 4, Aurora's Dream. Makes sense, the casino is here. But as we scroll back out a little bit further, oh, we've got one more area. Black Hole Sun 4. So for those of you who are familiar with the game, you now know exactly where we are on the game map. Now, obviously here in the custom start, let's go ahead and turn off the trading interface so it doesn't cloud our view. But that gives you an idea of where we are. We're going to get into the Argon, are going to be over here in this area. And then, of course, we're going to get into the HOP and the Paranid will be all down in through the bottom. And then, of course, over to the far right is where the Talati will be. So now we have an idea of exactly where we are. So if we wanted to continue on with this gameplay, we would head over to Black Hole Sun 4 and join the main map from there. But as for today, we've done exactly what we needed to do. We've set the stage for the Tides of Avarice DLC.